Well, I'll start recording now. If by some reason I miss some of it, I'll re-record all the instructions and I'll answer the questions.
Gail,
Yeah.
you know, you were asking if we had our hex codes, like if we knew our brand colors and we'd put those in. So I have my brand colors in and I've been using them, but I don't have, and I'm not quite sure how to do it, but all of my logo work that Sadie did for me, like I think they're AI files, but I want to try to get that into Canva so I can use them, because right now I'm using like screenshots of my logo, which is stupid because they're much better quality, the one she sent me. But I also know that like you can make your logo, like my key logo, I know you can make it transparent so then you can do other stuff with it. So would you be able to show me or tell me how to do that?
I can show you guys, because I showed you on the one page where I used mine and she made mine.
Right.
So I'll show you how to do that.
Okay. Because I love it. And she spent so much time on it and I want to use it.
Any other questions before I share the screen again?
Yeah, I want to be clear on the copyright policy, because some pictures are free, so I understand that. But once you purchase that picture, is that yours to use over and over and over again?
All of those pictures in there, yes, you can use them.
Okay.
But you cannot make it for products, right? To sell it.
You'd have to look at the individual ones, but my understanding is that you can once you purchase it in Canva.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing.
Thank you, Gail, for this.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to go back to sharing the screen. So let's see, photo grid. So I'm going to still work with the same. I'm going to work with the same. I'm trying to mute you, team, for some reason.
I turned my phone off. I'll mute myself.
Okay. So this photo, we're going to take it out of just the regular photo and I'm going to add a photo grid. So these are frames. So I could use, this is considered a photo grid. So say I wanted it to be more fun and have it in a circle. Then I could go to my pictures where I uploaded and bring it over here and hover until it shows up. And now it's in a circle, and that's the photo grid. I can make it bigger, and actually I like it better in a circle. So I can make it bigger or smaller. And let me add another page, and we could go to, let's see. Let me see if this one has, some of these are grids and some of them aren't. Let's see. That one's not. I was trying to find one that it's a grid, but it looks like a lot of these are not. And this is just a, okay, this one may be. Let's see. Now, I think somebody asked me too about the different groups. So I could delete just the image, or I could delete the grid. So here I just want to delete the image. And this is another example of how they used a photo grid. And then I could go to photos and pick a photo here, just a regular stock photo. Or you can put in here a description of what you would want. So say I wanted women working and I wanted to add this to the photo grid, then it's there. Or I could hover it over. I was trying to see if I could move that. Or I could, this is also a grid. When you see the photo just pop into it, that's a photo grid. I could change, this one is not a grid, but when I push, when I move it over, it's moving to the background. So that's a grid. You can always delete it, change the color. So you would just go here to the colors, change the color, And now we have a whole different, it's a whole different photo, a whole different post. I could go to my uploads and add her here, or I could add her to the back. Well, now it's not letting me take it out. I'd have to delete it. Also, this has a white background, so it has like a frame, so you have white around the corners. So there's a lot of things you can do. These are elements. You can add them or delete them, same thing here. Okay, someone asked about resizing. Here you can resize and then you can pick. So if this is for Instagram, but I wanted to use it for, or I guess it's a Facebook post, but I want to use it for Instagram, and I wanted to use it for, say, I'm just picking things, a business card, then I'm gonna hit copy and resize, and it's gonna give me a new screen. And then you can go to the file here to find out, this will show you the size of it. So now I have it here, one size, and I have it here, another size. And if it's something that has specific dimensions, then you can resize it and you can change it pixels and inches, millimeters, centimeters, however you want, whatever dimensions you have, you can create specific dimensions based on your needs. Someone else, oh, Tina, you asked about bringing in the logo. So for mine, I uploaded these. I just went to upload image, and then it takes me to my different files, and then you pick the one that you want to bring in, and it'll upload it right here. So like this is part of my logo. This is another element. Let me see. Let me add just a blank page. So this is one of them. I can make it tiny and put it over something, or I can make it large and put things around it. This is another one of mine. So the MM is for Midlife Moneymaker. This is more of a signature one. Sometimes I use it at the top, like for my email, I use that as the logo at the top. I have an all black one. So I have different ones that I use in different ways. Let's see, I was trying to see. Sadie also made this picture for me. Now this version of it has a background, and I'll show you this. You have to have the upgraded version of Canva to be able to do this, but because this has a background and I don't want it to have the white, I can go to effects and remove the background. And it just does its thing. And now my background, now it's just there with the yellow. And I can do that with you can do that with any of these pictures. Let's see. Here, I'm going to show you how I did. So with this one, let me remove this background. I could bring this in and add it in, because I'm not sure why I saved it as a picture, but I could put this over it if I wanted to, or I could go back to the original one and recreate it. Roz, you asked about podcast covers, and I'm trying to see. Let me go back to my designs. I'm gonna see if I have. I originally had created my own podcast cover. So let me just find it. I got so much stuff here. Well, this is one example of something I created where I added two different, this is a photo grid. So I added the grid and then just popped in the two pictures. Here, you can go to text and you can add in any of these. These are already formatted for you. So if I wanted to use this one, I can go here, but if I didn't like part of it, I can delete part of it. So it says delete element or delete group. So if I deleted the group, I delete the whole thing. If I go to delete element, I just remove that, because you might see a font you like and you don't know what the font is called, or you don't want to look for it, and you could just go through here and pick one of these for the font, like this one. You like this Cheers. And this is two different elements. Or you might decide you don't want the Cheers, you only want this part of it. So you can delete that part. So a lot of things too, I look through here and see, and that's what I did here. See if I like it, see it's two different elements. But this has a frame, and I like the frame. Instead of me recreating every single little piece, which I could do myself, I sometimes go through here, or I start with a template and just make it my own. Now let me go back to, I'm looking for the podcast cover. Oh, let me see if I just search my name. Yeah, I don't have, like I had started just playing around with things that I wanted to try as my podcast cover. And that's the thing, you can't be afraid to try different things. I don't know what I would have called it. Let's see. I've experimented with so many different things, but we could even use this as a podcast cover example, because this could be a podcast cover. Let me just, I'm going to make a copy of this. So let's work with this and say this is your podcast cover. So I'm going to remove this, remove this, remove this, and say, so this is obviously kind of big. So I would change the size of the font. Oh, it's doing part of it, not all of it. Let's see. So highlight it, change the size. So let's try this. So say this is my podcast cover, and then I might want to add some text. I would want it bigger than this though. And so you have to keep hovering to, like here, I want to make the font bigger, but the box smaller. So you have to keep hovering till it goes from a triangle to straight. And then here, I'm going to put with Gail Keys Allen. So I don't like the combination of these two. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I don't like the combination of these two together. So let me go and see what font I might want to use. So like I said before, I really like some of the script ones. That one's too faint. You can put in calligraphy. and have it search for just calligraphy fonts and go through and just pick a different one that you like. I might want this to be a little bigger. Let's say I decide I don't like that one. Um, I don't like that either. Say I wanted to work with this one. Then I can have, then I know for my brand, I'm using the Now Bold font and I'm using the PlayScript font. So that is my brand. If this is one of my brand pictures, then I may always want to use this picture, these two fonts, but then change up on the other things. So if I go here to elements and to grids, and I want to be able to, let me see, I like the circle. Let's see, grid circles. That's not it. These are other elements, but not what I want. Elements, grids. Oh, I see one. Let me go back. These are frames, not grids. Say I want to add my guest, and I want to have the guest here. I mean, that might not visually look the best for to work with this picture of me, but it's just an example. So I'm going to go to my uploads because they would have sent me a picture and I would have their picture that I want to use as their guest. So let's say this is my guest. Oops. I'm going to hover over it until she's in the circle. And I might want to move this up here and move it to the side and then add her name here. So do I want to use, say I want to use this font. I can copy it. Well, I don't want to copy there. I'm having a mental block. I want to copy this. I don't know why I'm having like a mental block. It's saying, no, I don't want to copy that. Okay, that is really weird. Copy, 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 copy. That is correct. They've changed things around too, so there we go. So say I want to use the same font. I make it smaller. Well, not that small. Oh, that's not even where we want to be. That's the extra one I made. Copy, bring it down. Delete, delete. Say I just want to say her name, Susan Jones, is my guest. And this is just an example. I don't know exactly how you might want to use it, but I'm gonna make it a little smaller. And I might even want to move it down here. And then if I don't want it to be all caps, I just go here and I can change it, or I could change it manually. So hopefully that helps. Then I could add other little elements. I mean, like I would look at this and say, oh, well, there's flowers here and there's flowers here. So do I want to look at some flowers? And I'm just using this as an example. It might not look the best, but so I might want to add a little flower here just to add that dimension and another little element. And see, it makes it look fun, but still professional. I think, oh, okay, I'm going to show you the other thing we talked about is your brand. So when you go to the main canva.com homepage, right here it shows brand kit. So this is where you save all of your own information. So I have saved these colors as colors that I like to use. If I want to add to it, I can go here, put the hex code for my brand, which wherever you got the color, you can get the hex code, and then add that. Same thing with the fonts. I can upload brand fonts. So these are all my uploaded fonts, and it just says right here, upload fonts. And these are all the ones that I've uploaded. If you don't want them anymore, you can delete them. These are the ones that I say, okay, these are the fonts that I'm using for my brand. And so I can edit them. The other thing you can do is your logo. I haven't saved mine here yet. This is just plain, or this is my old logo, but you can save your logo here. So this becomes your brand kit. So every time you want things to be themed with your brand, it would be here. You could go here. And then when you go to create a design, Instagram, say you want to do, let's see, background, and you want to pick a background color. Your colors should show up here, or you can go here, and here's your brand colors here. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. And so I think that's most of what we were going to cover. I was going to cover today. If you have some other specific question, I don't mind answering it. You can unmute yourself and let me know. Oh, wait, let me just share one more thing that I said I was going to show you where to find the higher level kind of stuff that you can play with. Let's see, share screen. Okay. On the side, these are all the areas that you have to pick from. They have music, they have videos, so the templates, your photos, you can search for photos, your elements, we talked about all this, the text. I have not played with music, so I'm not really sure. I'm not even sure why I would want it. Here's little videos that you can add. So that's how you add the video. The backgrounds we talked about, the uploads we talked about. Folders, you can put your pictures and your logo in folders. And then there's all the way at the bottom, more. And this has, let me just delete this here. A lot of fun stuff in the more. So I showed you the emojis. You can link your Facebook. So when I hit Facebook, it shows all the pictures that I've posted on Facebook. So if I wanted to add this picture of my grandson to this, I could just pop it right in here and it's there. You don't even have to go out and go back in. All the stuff I posted from Facebook is right here to use. Then you can also link it. I tried to link it to, oh, it is linked to my Instagram. So here's my Instagram photos. So I could pick whatever I wanted from Instagram and use it however you want in Canva. What else? You can pick one of the GIFs and put it in here. Oh, and the one thing I didn't talk about is download. So once you name your project here, so you name it, hit enter, and then you go to download. If I download this as PNG, this won't be moving. What I can do is look at other options and download it as a GIF or I just heard somebody say this is really GIF, but as a GIF or a video. And it takes up a lot of space, so I'm not going to do it now. But the other thing you can do is if you have a PDF, you're doing a workbook or something, you can download it as a PDF. So you get to pick the format however you want to save. And for most pictures, it says suggested you're going to use the PNG to save and download. And then I don't normally do this, but you can share with other people and just email it to them and share it to them. Normally, if I was going to share it, I would download it on my computer and share it that way in an email or on my phone. So I think, let me stop my screen share. I think that's pretty much everything. You guys, I have to apologize. It looks like I didn't record the beginning. So what can I say? I will go through and it probably would be better this way because I'll go through it and just go over all of the things you ask in an organized way. And that way we don't have the noise, the questions, the whole thing. And if you have any other questions, just email them to me. If you have any ideas of other classes that you would like on Canva, because there's definitely a lot. And it would be helpful to we could do one thing where we just did your projects and I helped you do your project. I mean, I think that would be really helpful. So, if you think that's something you'd be interested in, just message me on Facebook or email me. So any comments, questions?
This is Vanita. I just have a quick question. Are you on Canva Pro?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah, I'm on Canva Pro. And I would suggest that everybody get it. It's like $12 a month, I think. And it's well worth it because the pictures are all free. So by the time you buy a couple of pictures to use in your artwork, you've already paid for it. So you might as well just have the Pro. Like how I removed the background from the picture, I don't think you can do that in the regular Canva. I think you can only use that in Pro. So you can be a professional graphic designer and just use Canva because there's just so many ways to use it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody
Thank
else?
you. The class has been great. I didn't realize
This is good.
how deep it was.
It can go way deep.
And I'm not going to use it on my phone as much anymore. It's so much better on a desktop.
Oh, totally.
I agree. I was using my iPad and getting really frustrated.
Yeah, me too.
I think just going to my PC and doing it, but the fact that you can access it through your phone,
right,
in your iPad, which is usually how I upload to Facebook or something, it's perfect. So. Right. Yeah, that was super helpful because that day I registered, I was so frustrated with Canva, but I had never twigged to go log in on my freaking PC.
Wow.
Okay. I did the same thing if it makes you feel any better. Like literally somebody in my pod, Lolly Marilucy Hernandez, she's an artist, and she had done her resume and had posted it for us to look at, and she did it on Canva, and I was like, oh my God, that's just gorgeous. And like color and, the type of job she was applying for needed that. I'm in freaking therapy and academia. Everything's like boring. So I'm done with that. I want to be creative and love my life. But I was like, how did you do that? And he's telling me, and I'm on my phone going, what? Yeah. And I was trying to create a logo one day and literally sitting in stopped traffic. I'm on my phone and I created a logo and sent it to her. And she was like, wait, how did you just do that? And I was like, on my phone. So we actually got together one day and she showed me everything she does on her computer. She didn't know she could do it on her phone. I showed her all the easy stuff I was doing on my phone. She didn't know she could do that. So it's like mind-blowing sometimes when you're just like,
open it up.
Yes. It's
well, it wasn't Paul's note that said, oh, make sure you have this active. And I thought, okay, for the first time, this when it occurred to me, oh, gee, go log on your PC. I've come from the high tech. In fact, I come from the company that built the PC, and it's like
That's really funny.
For God's sake, you know?
That's so
So
funny.
this has been, okay, for that was just like, okay, and now I'm at the top of the food chain. I know how to use it, okay?
Yeah. Or
Well,
even what Cindy
I
said,
learned how to
put
use
video in. I'd never thought about that, but I'm like, oh, and you can. So now I want to
Right.
figure out how to do that. Like, it's great to hear the
Right.
different ideas.
Well, I only had used it on desktop, and then all of a sudden somebody said something to me about the app, and I'm like, oh, there's an app. So I've been using it for years on my desktop and didn't know about the app, and probably only downloaded the app 6 months ago. So,
That's me, Gail.
okay.
I've always known about the desktop, never knew anything about the app. I'm like, oh, wow, there's an app for it.
I downloaded the app and never knew
Exactly.
that I could even access it on
Oh, that's
my
so
computer.
funny.
Like, it's
But
crazy, right?
again, I apologize for the recording situation.
Oh.
Things happen,
Yeah.
you
It's
know.
good. Trust me.
But,
I took notes if anybody wants me to screenshot.
but I will
It won't
send
make
what I
sense,
have.
but
I will send what I have recorded, and I will record something with just the basics, so you have it
Okay,
to refer to. And if,
perfect.
like I said, I will create a class on the websites and sales pages.
great
And
idea.
Great.
spread the word so I can get the word out to other people. So I will do that, and I will do that today, and contact you guys. And then if you have other ideas, suggestions, because to me it's fun. So even if we got on here and did a working group session or whatever, I mean, I think I love Canva.
I
So
would love that because
fun.
I'm waiting for my branding stuff from Sadie. And okay, that was an aha for me that I can upload my colors. I can upload because I was looking at your stuff thinking, damn, that's really cool. How does
Yeah.
she do that?
Yeah.
I have a clue now. So.
I love it. I just like click over and it's like I've got my 5 main ones, and then I have one color that we chose for each of the 8 elements of wellness. So those are there too.
Right.
And it's just so nice to not have to, because otherwise I was going to that little color wheel thing and trying to drag it to
Oh,
what I thought it was. And yeah, so once
Yeah.
I had my hex codes, I was like, put those
Yeah,
in.
that's the key. Make sure you have your hex codes, because that's
Yeah.
the key.
She'll give them to you. It'll be in the package she gives you.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Anything else before
Hey
we
Gail,
go?
if you add the website stuff, I definitely would encourage you. Like, yeah, we'll spread the word and we'll tell people this was awesome. But I would make sure you have people redo this part, or if you go back and make a video tutorial of this part, like when you charge them for the next part, I would include, like, make it a bundle where, like, because I agree with you. It's like, I'm doing Adrian's build your email list, right? And it's like, if you came in and you were already on Flowdesk and using it, you're in one place. If you came in and you weren't using it all, there was like a catch up, so I think to make sure that like when you're ready to go to that people know it's on their phone and their computer. Go try this out. Here's all the buttons. So if you took what you taught us today, if you re-recorded it as like a tutorial, like Canva
That's a good
101,
tip. Yeah.
then you don't have to spend your time every time somebody wants into one of your higher level things, or if you have like a mastermind work session, whatever, you still make $25 every time off this evergreen how-to video, but then they have the skills and they can play with it, and they're not going to be frustrated and not feel like, well, I couldn't do this stuff. Well, of course, because you haven't been on it. You don't know the basics. You haven't been using it. That's just my 2 cents.
I thought about creating a workbook, so I think that would be very helpful too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Any other suggestions you have? I'd love to expand on this, because like I said, I love it. People seem to love my graphics. And so I'd love to, continue to expand on the whole Canva training, because I think, especially now, who wants to pay a graphic designer every time you want to post something somewhere?
And the creativity part's the fun part of it. Like, yeah, I've got my knowledge and I've got my skills and that's my bread and butter, but I love playing with this stuff. Like, I'm not going to be a graphic designer.
Right.
That's not my business, but I love the creative part of it. And I think the the workbooks or like worksheets are good. Like I know for us, you know, at the college, we've been through like 5 learning platforms in 5 years. And every time we get a new one, they put out these video tutorials. Well, it's great. I can watch the video, but yet I want to like then do it in live time, and I don't have 2 screens. So like the video is good to watch to get the layout and the gist and to see where things are. But then if you had a worksheet that was in writing that people could print out and have next to them while they're then on Canva, like that, you know, if you're looking for this, this is where the button is, and even taking like screenshots of it. One of my coworkers has done that for a lot of the stuff we do when we try to teach our adjunct professors. And I just find that so much helpful to have that paper piece that I can refer to. So then when I'm on my screen, you know, so I think the videos are great, but I think the paper's great too.
Okay, thank you for the suggestion. So give me a few days to put it all together.
No, I want it now.
Because I want to send it out professionally. I don't want to.
No, I agree with you.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to.
There's get it done, and there's too messy that you're embarrassed of it. I get it.
Exactly. And if, like I said, if any of you have any questions, like Rena, I don't know how many of you know Rena. Allison, you might not, but she was in the one graphic I showed her and I together. A couple times she just sent me something and said, can you help me with this, or can you make this for me, or whatever. So because you took the class and you trusted me, send me anything, you know, not 100 things, but you know.
Oh, I'm sending you everything.
Open invitation.
Badass pro. I heard it. I heard the pro.
Recording.
It's recorded.
But send me, you know, if you're having trouble with something or needs quick help with something, just message me on Facebook. I'm happy to do it. Like I said, it's fun for me.
But I think there is an opportunity for you, like the lady that had to log off early, to just offer, I'll do a one-on-one for you for this amount of money for 1 hour.
Yeah.
There you go.
Definitely.
Your desktops, because I'm not joking. I was doing something on my iPad trying to create just a freaking quote, and it took forever.
Yeah.
And it's not something that I would have pinged you on per se now, but because I'm gonna start laying out stuff once I have my logo stuff and all that back, I would like to have somebody to talk to that ask, okay, how do I make a podcast work? Okay, I was like, oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
You know, how do I make a landing page? Because I'm gonna need that, you know? And so those little things, they all amount to a bunch of big things that if sometimes if you just get an hour with somebody, they say, oh no, it would be super easy if you just do this, this, and this. It, to me, that hour is worth that.
So worth it, right? So much better than taking your entire weekend and banging your head against the wall. And
yeah. And then you don't do it. And it's those kinds of things that I think hold you back over something that if you just knew somebody had a clue and you could go to them and pay them, people will pay for that, for God's sake.
You can be a Canva consultant.
Huh?
You can be she can be a Canva consultant.
Look, I am now.
Yeah, you are.
Rena
Gail,
called me a Canva professional. She's like, you are such a Canva pro. That's what she called me. Such a
I was thinking you were talking about the podcasters, and like another way maybe to take this all this information is like you could do a 30-minute like power podcaster Canva, like because we have so many people that were in our group that are podcasting now, or like even wherever Kathy's brain went with like, you know, we sort of all selfishly sit in our seats and go, oh shoot, how am I going to do it as a podcaster? Like, you know, so you have a package for them. And then I was going to mention that I'm taking an Instagram class with Jasmine Starr. It's called Social Curator. And she flips back and forth between pre-recordings. And it's very short, so you don't feel like you're sitting like listening to someone's pre-record, but she pulls in tidbits, and maybe you can do that with like what Tina and Benita were saying with like evergreens, just in a way where it's boom. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but that's a suggestion.
Well, Marie Forleo says everything's figure outable.
It is.
And I totally believe that. So this has been powerful for me as much as it is for you.
Gail, are you on YouTube yet?
I have a YouTube page, but no, not really.
So there's a free 1 hour thing from Sunny Lenarduzzi right now on how to boss YouTube strategy, 100 times your subscribers and double your revenue in 1 year. And it's pretty thorough, like in terms of like how to set up your channel. But when you make videos, you can draw